Commander Zixthor of the Galactic Confederation stood before the assembled council, his three eyes blinking in what could only be described as bewilderment. In his tentacles he clutched a datapad that trembled slightly. Whether from fear or suppressed laughter, none could tell. "Esteemed members," he began, his translator struggling with the concept he was about to convey, "I have returned from my observational tour of the human military academy they call West Point. I must report that everything we thought we knew about warfare is incorrect." The council chamber erupted in confused chittering. The Supreme Admiral, a crystalline being from Sector 7, pulsed an irritated crimson. "Explain yourself, Commander." Zixthor consulted his notes, his membranes flushing purple with embarrassment. "The humans begin their military training not with weapons proficiency or tactical simulations, as any civilized species would. No, they begin by making their young warriors carry heavy rocks up mountains while other warriors scream at them about the improper angle of their sleeping platforms." "Their beds?" asked Admiral Kretok, mandibles clicking in confusion. "Yes, the humans have determined that the 45-degree angle of a bed corner is somehow critical to interstellar combat effectiveness." Zixthor paused. "I observed a human cadet spend 3 hours refolding the same sleeping cloth because it had a wrinkle." 3 hours. This same species invented faster than light travel. The council sat in stunned silence. "It gets worse," Zixthor continued, his voice taking on a desperate edge. "They have a ritual called PT, physical training. Every morning before the sun rises, they make their warriors run in circles. Just circles. For no tactical reason. When I asked the commanding officer why, he said, and I quote, "It builds character." "What is character?" asked a gelatinous council member. "I still don't know. I don't think the humans know either. But apparently, you need it to win wars." Zixthor flipped through his notes, his agitation growing. The humans then engage in something called inspections. Senior warriors examine junior warriors to ensure their metallic fasteners are sufficiently reflective. I watched a cadet spend an entire evening polishing boots that would be covered in mud during the next day's character-building circle running. "Surely they teach actual combat skills," the Supreme Admiral interjected. "Oh, they do," Zixthor replied darkly. "But first they teach them to march. Not tactical movement, just synchronized walking. In straight lines, to music. They call these parades. I witnessed thousands of warriors spending weeks preparing to walk past reviewing stands in aesthetically pleasing formations that have no battlefield application whatsoever." The commander's tentacles waved frantically as he warmed to his subject. "And the food. Dear ancestors, the food. The humans have nutritional science that could sustain warriors in any environment, yet their military academies serve something they call mystery meat and SOS. When I asked what SOS stood for, a cadet whispered, 'Same old stuff,' though his facial coloration suggested he was using a euphemism. Perhaps, ventured Admiral Kretok, this is to teach resilience?" "That's what I thought." Zixthor's eyes brightened momentarily before dimming again. "Until I learned about dining-in nights, formal dinners where the humans dress in archaic ceremonial garments, eat 7-course meals, and throw bread rolls at each other while shouting. This is official military training. There are regulations about proper bread-throwing technique." The council members looked at each other, their various forms of expression all conveying the same thought. Humans were insane. "The humans also have a punishment system," Zixthor continued, clearly saving his best material for last. "When a cadet violates regulations, they are made to do push-ups. This involves repeatedly lifting one's body weight using only the arms, while a superior officer loudly questions the cadet's intelligence, heritage, and future prospects. I asked why they didn't simply use more efficient disciplinary methods. The officer looked at me and said, 'Because this is how it's always been done.'" "Tradition," murmured the Supreme Admiral. "They value tradition over efficiency." "You don't understand," Zixthor said, his voice rising. "I then watched that same cadet after doing 50 push-ups for having a suboptimal bed corner led a squad exercise where they successfully breached a fortified position using creative tactics we'd never considered, all while operating on 4 hours of sleep and sustained entirely by a beverage they call Rip It." The council fell silent. "Here's what troubles me most," the commander said quietly. These illogical, inefficient, archaic training methods produce the most effective warriors in the known galaxy. The humans who spent hours folding their bedclothes, they stay calm when their ships are falling apart around them. The ones who ran pointless circles every morning, they have endurance that makes our enhanced soldiers look weak. The bread-throwing dinner attendees, they have unit cohesion we can't replicate with our advanced bonding technology. Zixthor set down his datapad, all three eyes focused on the Supreme Admiral. I went to West Point expecting to find the secrets of human military success. Instead, I found warriors who iron creases into their uniforms sharp enough to cut through my exoskeleton, who can recite 100-year-old regulations from memory but can't explain why they exist, and who somehow, inexplicably, turned all of this madness into the most formidable fighting force in the galaxy. "So what do you recommend, Commander?" asked the Supreme Admiral. Zixthor was quiet for a long moment. Then, with a gesture that might have been a shrug, he said, "I recommend we never ever fight the humans, because any species that can turn folding clothes and synchronized walking into military dominance is operating on a level we simply cannot comprehend." The Council adjourned shortly after, each member privately deciding that humanity's application to join the Galactic Confederation should be fast-tracked. After all, it was better to have the insane humans as allies than enemies. Commander Zixthor filed his report and requested immediate reassignment. He'd had enough of trying to understand humanity for one lifetime.